guys. We're living in some weird times. It's a weird time to be in LA. A lot of people are out of work right now, right? People are really worried about AI, which is conflicting for me, right? Because I've got metal hardware in my back and in 3 of my limbs, so I'm basically AI, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm pro AI. I'm just saying when they start putting it on the paperwork, I'm gonna check the box, right? Kind of how when white people do 23andMe and they're like, I'm Cherokee. Well, I'm titanium. It got a little weird. I did pull up to one of these protests, right? And I pull up, and it's all these white guys standing around going, AI will not replace us. AI will not replace us. I was like, whoa, buddy, put down the tiki torch. I'm one of you. And they were like, a writer? And I was like, no, a Jew. Wait till they find out AI stands for Ashkenazi intelligence. It's gonna get real dicey out there. Speaking of Jewish people, Kanye, he's back in the news. We got any Kanye fans in here? That was a vibe check. You guys passed. Good. Kanye's a tough one for me, right? I loved Kanye growing up. I was a diehard Kanye fan, but he's done a lot of harmful things, right? But in some ways, I do think Kanye's progressive. We got a black Nazi. It's not the progress we wanted, but it's different. Yeah, Kanye mostly went after Jewish people, but people forget that he also went after Asian people. In an interview, he was like, Chinese people got something to do with everything. I'm like, yeah, like making Yeezys. And then he went after Kim. He was like, Kim hooked up with Chris Paul. And say what you will about the Kardashians, but I can now name 20 NBA players, so... There's positives to everything. So I just went back to visit my folks. My dad and my stepmom, they just got a schnauzer, really cute dog. But they got its ears cropped. You guys know what that is? It's a horrible practice, right? They do that a lot with purebred dogs. They cut their ears, they cut their tails. I was like, Dad, I can't believe you mutilated that dog. He's like, I didn't mutilate it. That's breed standard. And I start to say back, Dad, what if somebody did that to you when you were a kid? They just cut a chunk of you off. When you couldn't consent. You remember that part where I said I'm Jewish? My kids are gonna be breed standard. I do think there's a difference though, right? Because puppies are cute in their natural form. Dicks, not so much. And I know that circumcision is controversial, but I think that I can justify it because I'm Jewish, but I'm also Latina, which means that my sons will be circumcised and my daughters are getting their ears pierced the second they come out of me, right? This is equality. Everyone's getting a makeover, okay? Latin mommy in the front is saying, yeah, my mom took me to a tattoo shop when I was 6 months old. Me too. Some of you are horrified by the circumcision joke. I see it on your face. I'm just kidding, okay? It's just jokes. I'm not gonna pierce or snip my kid. I'm gonna abort them. Can't pay rent, can't have babies. That's the rule, right? I can't afford babies. I can't afford most things. The only thing I've got to my name is my car, okay? It's a cute little white Fiat. It's got an Arizona state license plate. And I recently noticed that one of my neighbors, she also has a cute little white Fiat. And she very recently added a Harvard license plate to hers. And I was like, you're not better than me, bitch. We ended up on the same street with the same car, okay? But she owns her property. And mine, she's my landlord. So she's doing a little better than me, okay? But I'm gonna fuck her husband, so... This is how we take it back, millennials, okay? Gen X, they get land, we get your husbands. That's how we spread generational wealth, okay? Millennials, we got nothing. We got no hope, we got no money, we got no property, okay? Remember back in the day, like people used to have enough money to have a midlife crisis? What the fuck? Every TV dad in the 90s had like a gorgeous house, 2-car garage, hot wife, nice kids, and he'd get sad, right? He'd go buy himself like a Maserati or a boat. You know what I'm gonna buy when I turn 40? A gun for my mouth, okay? The only land I'm ever gonna afford is the grave they put me in. That's real. No, I can't afford a grave. I'm getting cremated for sure. So I'm not doing well. I recently went to a psychic. We can agree on that fact, right? People going to psychics, not doing well, right? Nobody's going to a psychic and being like, I'm killing it at work, my body's rocking, my partner satisfies me sexually and emotionally. Psychic, when will it end? Nobody's doing that. And the men, they're always like, why would a woman spend $50 on a psychic? I'm like, for the same reason you would spend $50 on a stripper, okay? We both go there to hear whatever we want to hear. And if I told you she was sitting on my lap naked, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out, right? My girl's using a crystal ball. Crystal's got you by the balls. My girl's reading my palm. Your girl's using her palm. It's all means to an end, okay? They should combine forces. A psychic stripper, something for everybody. She always knows what's coming. Yeah, I'm into psychics. I'm into all the woo-woo bullshit. This is my new take on life. I feel like if you have a baby, okay, you shouldn't tell people your kid's birthday if you don't want to hear the truth about them. I just met my friend's baby, and he was like, oh yeah, he was born on March 10th. And I was like, ooh, a March Pisces, he's gonna be a liar. And he was like, did you just call my 3-month-old a liar? And I was like, well, I didn't call him anything. It's written in the stars. So I'm working on me. I'm trying to fix myself. I recently self-diagnosed myself with itty-bitty titties. It's chronic. There's no cure, okay? I tried to find a cure. I went to a plastic surgeon. And when you go to a plastic surgeon, it's the same as every other doctor. They're like, what's your name? What's your medical insurance? Do you drink? Do you smoke? I'm like, you think I'm gonna get fake tits and not party? And then they take you in the back, they put you in this really ugly bra and basically just like fill it with water balloons, right? And I'm like, make them as big as possible. And she's like, no, we gotta stop. You got a lump on your titty. And I'm like, no. There's no way that I have breast cancer when I don't even have breast, right? You gonna tell me I have dick cancer too? I don't have dick cancer. Thank you for asking. But I did go get a mammogram. And when you go get a mammogram, it's a torturous experience, right? Because they grab you by the tit. They clamp it into a machine. Not as kinky as it sounds. Because this lady was grabbing and grabbing and grabbing. She's like, there's not enough. I'm like, that's why I'm here. You sound like every guy I've ever slept with. I hate that. You're hooking up with the guy, he's putting his hands up under your shirt, and you're like, ooh, don't touch my rolls, and the hand keeps going. It's going up under your bra, and you're like, he's gonna grab them, and the hand just keeps going. Can you imagine if women did that to men? You put the hands down the pants, and you're like, there's not enough, and you just tickle his feet. That's a murder-suicide waiting to happen. That's how true crime starts. So I didn't get the fake titties, obviously, because they don't take EBT. Some of you laugh, some of you are like, what's EBT? Can I catch it? Yes, it's an STD that I caught from my parents. It's called poverty. You guys have been so great. I've been Kiki Andersen. Good night.